Well, good morning, kids. Pastor Al here. You know, I kind of hate not having my corgi riding the shark behind me, but there's just nowhere for me to hang it up. And by the way, I hate to say this, but this is probably my second to last children's video that I'll be recording and posting. Again, I think we have like 200 of them on our YouTube channel. So if after I'm done doing them, you want to go back and look at them, you've probably forgotten everything that I ever said before anyway. So give you an opportunity to experience them anew. Talk a lot about dogs in my videos because I like dogs. And I think dogs are pretty cool. And most people I know think dogs are pretty cool. But I can tell you who is not entirely wild about dogs. And that's cats. And I have to admit, some of them have good reason for that. Watch this.
What a tease.
Parkour! Michael!
Bro.
Reggie, don't eat him.
Now he's like, maybe I'll...
I can get my video on my Apple Chromecast.
Okay, dogs may be kind of snarky to cats, but when it comes to their humans, they tend to love them passionately. I'm going to show you a little video here. It's not the best video. It's a few years old, and it's the best one I could find. It's kind of dark, and parts are a little blurry. You'll understand why. But it's about what happened a few years ago just north of us in Canada, where a young boy was out bringing in wood for the wood stove at his house. And suddenly something very dangerous happened, and he probably would have lost his life there if it wasn't for one very special individual who was willing to give their life to save him. Watch this.
Protected me. She ran in front of the cougar.
This is Angel, moments after she was pried from a cougar's mouth. She's beaten and bloodied, but all she cares about is her best friend, Austin Foreman. The drama started when the two went outside to get firewood.
I knew maybe something was up, I didn't know what, because she just was following me everywhere.
Austin stopped to take a break. That's when a cougar charged at him from the bush.
Angel came running as fast as she could and jumped over the lawnmower here. She jumped from right there up over the lawnmower, and as she landed here, the cougar had come from somewhere over here and jumped and tackled her inside underneath there. And that's when I ran inside this door here.
The family estimates Angel and the cougar battled it out under these stairs for nearly 20 minutes. And at one point, the family thought Angel was dead.
And I said to the kids, she's dead, she's gone. All we can do now is make sure that cougar doesn't get away from here and go after somebody else's pet, or worse yet, some child in the neighborhood.
It looked bad. The cougar was chomping down on Angel's neck. Foreman called police, and an officer arrived in minutes.
I could see the cougar's tail and its kind of hind sitting right down here. And so I took one shot and I seen it hit it.
It took 2 shots to kill the big cat, but it was Angel everyone was worried about.
It was just laying there kind of motionless. And then about 3 or 4 seconds later, it kind of started coughing up some blood and it got up.
As soon as I walked down the steps there, she had come up to me halfway and made sure that I was all right, and I pet her.
The 1.5-year-old golden retriever is recovering from a swollen eye and puncture wounds to her head, neck, and legs. The foremen say it would have been a different story if it wasn't for Angel.
If the dog wouldn't have been out here, that cougar would have had my son. And we wouldn't be standing here like we are today, so
She's more than a best friend now. She's my guardian angel.
That's pretty amazing, huh? These young boys out there, he's got a year and a half old Labrador Retriever, a Golden Retriever out there following him, who immediately when he sees this cougar, a big cougar, come rushing at his boy, he just immediately throws himself in front of him so that the boy can escape with his life. And then he fights him for what, 20 minutes, we're told. Now, that dog probably knew that he was no match for that cougar. You'd have to be like one of the big livestock protection dogs to even have a chance. But the fact that he fought him off for 20 minutes is pretty amazing. And you just probably assume at some point that dog, if a dog knows they're going to die, he probably knew he was going to die. And yet he's saved. He comes out, he's still alive. And what's the first thing he does? He goes and checks on his boy. He was willing to give his life to save that boy that he loved. That's pretty cool. I think a lot of dogs would do that. I think there are people who would do that for you. Your parents probably would. But there's one person very special that did it for everyone that he loves, and that's Jesus Christ. You know, he lived and he had a great life here, but he knew that part of the reason he came here was that we had been so ruined by our own selfish thoughts and ideas that we were cut off from God. And really the only way to restore that, and I know this is kind of a strange thing to say, was for us to die. But instead of wanting us to die, Jesus dies in our spot so that we can have our relationship with God restored, so that we can be with Jesus for all eternity and he can love us and we can love him back. So I know it's hard to think about that in kind of an abstract fashion, but think about what that dog did for that boy, how much he loved him, to be willing to sacrifice his life that he could live. That's a pretty cool thing, but it's even more amazing and wonderful what Jesus Christ did for us. He sacrificed himself so that we would have life, and as he tells us, have it abundantly. Hey kids, thanks for spending a few minutes with me this morning. Talk to you again next week. Bye.